Environment. The word environment means all the natural surroundings that provides a people better medium to grow and develop, such as land, air, water, plants, and many more. Moreover, it gives all things which is needed to live on this planet. It plays a very significant role in allowing the existence of healthy lives on the earth. However, nowadays, some man-made technological advancements are spoiling the environment in many ways, which ultimately disturbs the balance or equilibrium of nature. The environment is getting worse day by day because of the man-made technological advancement in the modern era. Any type of disturbance in the nature's balance affects the environment totally, which harm the human lives. Furthermore, natural resources are being used in wrong ways to fulfill destructive wishes. In addition to this, new technologies disturb the ecological balance that brings a major problem towards declining the elements of the environment. 46 nations and 2.6 billion people are now at risk of being overwhelmed by armed conflict and war related to climate change. For the 56 countries face political destabilization, affecting another 1.2 billion individuals. Climate change is today's biggest threat to international security and will intensify north-south tensions. The world has to end growth in greenhouse gas emissions within 7 years and reduce emissions by about 80% by the year 2050. At least two-thirds of energy demand over the next 25 years will come from developing countries. The vulnerabilities of our current energy system stem mostly from its reliance primarily on fossil fuels, which are non-renewable, depleting resources that, when burned, release climate-changing greenhouse gases. The fight against climate change implies a rapid, dramatic shift in world energy source. A shift that would be extremely challenging and unprecedented, and that would also require levels of investment measured in the tens of trillions of dollars. However, even if world leaders do nothing to respond to the climate threat, depletion will continue to eat away at the world's oil, gas, and coal reserves. The quality of fossil fuel resources being produced now is in many cases much poorer than the case just decades ago. It is rapidly declining. There are a number of occasions where we can witness the current situation about our environment, but we'd like to focus on the environment which we know best, our city, Batangas City. Batangas City is classified as one of the fastest urbanizing cities of the Philippines and is known as the industrial port city of Calabarzon. It is home to the Batangas International Port, one of the busiest passengers and container terminals in the Philippines. Here, human activities such as emission of fossil fuel, gas from vehicles, and CFC gas enhances the Earth's natural greenhouse effect, which take part in climate change, energy crisis, and environmental awareness. Imagine a future in which Batangas is spacious and walkable, the natural environment is protected and restored, and walking paths and cycling routes lead to key places. Consider a world of fresh air, less noise, healthier communities, and more engaged, safe people. Visualize a city that strikes a balance between environmental conservation and economic development. This is the future that the Batangueños are waiting for. Implementing a community action plan can do much more to reduce the damage dealt towards our community. This document contains lists on what steps must be taken in order to achieve our specific goals. The purpose of this action plan is to clarify what resources are required to reach the goal, formulate a timeline for when specific tasks need to be completed, and determine what resources are required. There are a number of programs which we need to implement in terms of climate change, energy crisis, and environmental awareness. But there are three general things which we need our community to understand. First, knowledge and awareness. Why? It is to increase the level of awareness and knowledge of the people in the community regarding to the climate change. How? Conduct a simple presentation such as a video presentation, poster, or any kind of medium to give information on what is climate change and its effect every first week of November. Those persons involved are authority, people in the community, which is success indicator is if we conducted a simple presentation to give information on about climate change. Another activity is to assess the level of awareness of the people through practical applications that can be used in real-life situations. Every month, whose persons involved are authority and people in the community, which success indicator is that we assess the level of awareness of the people through practical applications. The last activity for this program is to organize workshop, training, and seminars involving the topics of climate change every third week of November. Whose persons involved are the authority and people in the community, which success indicator is if we organize some workshop, training, and seminars involving the topics for climate change. Second, safety and vulnerability. Why? It is to ensure the security of the people in the community. How? Inspection in the area to assess current conditions of each area led by the authorities to lessen the possible problem due to climate change every 3 months. Which success indicator is if we inspected in the area to assess current conditions of each area led by the authorities with the people in the community. Lastly, equipment. Why? It is to have a solution in the problem encountered by the people. How? Improve the drainage by cleaning and planting trees to avoid flooding every month. Whose persons involved are the authority and people in the community. Which success indicator is if we improve the drainage and planted trees. Another activity is to make a machine that converts air into water to lessen the problem in water scarcity. From June 20, 2021 to June 20, 2022, whose persons involved are authorities and people who work in the field of engineering. Which success indicator is if we made the machine